It's October and it's cold, so I'm wearing a coat inside because there's no heating in the house right now. My flatmate's gone to Dubai on a trip and he's on the plane, so I don't know how to turn the heating on. And today I've given the whole day to go through this document, unpacking all of my life from severe drug addiction, chasing status, chasing girls, chasing freedom, trying to fit into this group of friends that didn't serve me to the point where it replaced my purpose. It replaced any ambition I had. It replaced any satisfaction I had in my life. To then the person that I am now, whose only goal is his purpose and his drive and his success in this life and the hereafter, and benefiting the lives of the people around him and you guys on the camera as well, you guys on the other side of this camera. And I just really want to spread impact because I don't want anyone to go through what I put myself through. I don't want anyone to have to feel like they need to cope with all of their insecurities and all of the things that they haven't achieved in life by masking it through taking drugs and thinking that this party lifestyle is actually of any use or fruition. And just going through this document and just writing down everything that I went through, it makes me realise more and more how lost so many guys in society are today. It's like you look around, you see some guys making money online, but you don't know if that's for you. You don't know if that's even achievable for you. If you're young, you're probably not even just young, depending on who you're friends with, you probably think it's normal to just go out to these clubs, to these raves, to these parties, and everyone does drugs, everyone drinks. That's the way life is. And then you see this lifestyle on Instagram, and you're like, man, what do I have to do to get that? I used to think it was really easy. I used to think like, oh, if I just stop doing this and then I just locked in straight away, I could just become a millionaire overnight. But these things take time, man. These things take time. But the growth that you can see once you pack up your old life is almost instant. It's almost instant. Every time, like if you look at pictures from me, I'll try to put some on the screen. If you look at pictures of me when I was in this state, when I was in uni and I was pretty much white, like I look so different. I didn't have a beard, I don't look how I look now. I look like an effeminate boy just completely lost. Like you can see how disgusted and stripped I was of all life. And I didn't see any other like fruit to life other than looking forward to the weekend, and just my friend group was my whole life. It's like, yeah, oh, this is so funny, this happened, ha ha ha, what drugs are we going to do tonight, what funny experiences are we going to have. All I was doing was avoiding the work that I knew I needed to do because I always had potential in my life. Everyone always told me how smart I was, how gifted I was, how talented I was. And because I wasn't living up to that potential in my life, because I was just, I wasn't willing to put the work in, because I thought everyone around me was just doing normal things. Like it was easy for everyone else. They could balance that life. I just went so much further into chasing pleasure. I went so much further into avoiding pain. I went so much further into masking all of my insecurities with these drugs and these bad habits because I didn't know anything different. These times in our life, you only really realise the impact of them once you stop. And I remember when I first got off drugs, everyone around me, they would ask me like, what does it feel like? And I'd be like, oh, my brain feels so clear, I feel like I can actually think, and I'm always driven by success. And every time that I did stop, I started getting competitive. I started getting like, I want to get in better shape. I want to get in, I want to get the best school grades. I want to make the most money. I want to be the best. That's what it brings out of me. That's what it brings out of you when you're not giving in to cheap dopamine, when you're not giving in to cheap, just instant gratification. You develop a competitive edge, and that's your purpose as a man. To see how good you can get. Time and time in my life, the same patterns repeat themselves. When you chase freedom and clout over purpose, when you chase those things, like those things are a byproduct of you becoming valuable, freedom and status. But when you put that above all else, you can get freedom by just doing whatever you want. You can get crackheads have freedom. You can get status in a certain social group by being the crazy drug and party guy. That freedom and status ticked off. The only way I've found real progress in my life is when I've been competing with myself and my others towards my growth, rather than competing for who can be the most cool guy in the room. You know? It's how good can I get as a man? How good can I become physically? How good can I become intelligent with my intellect? How good can I become with my finances and my work ethic? And once we start measuring ourselves off that framework, once we start measuring ourselves off of, I don't really care what anyone thinks of me because I have a purpose to fulfill in life. That's when we start seeing the most growth. The times when people have been most attracted to me in my life is when I've given them less time because I've been locked in on my mission, whether I was a school kid or the past 2 years running my business, even the past 6 months when I've been so locked in on my purpose. Everyone looks at me and they're like, bro, like, I want to catch up with you. And it's like, I'm not trying to attract people. I don't want this to come off in some arrogant or conceited way. I've got so much more I need to fix up on. If you guys have been watching the channel, I've had my own battles. The business can now come into an end. I'm probably going to have to get some sort of sales role, inshallah, online, so I can keep my head above water. But when you go against the grain of what everyone else is doing, they have no choice but to be interested. They have no choice to be curious, like, what's this guy doing? He's different. And it's at those times we discover who we are completely, and we're not trapped by these chains of what other people think of us. That's when we see the most success. The most success. Because you start to pave your own path. You start to pave your own frequency. You start to attract people that are on a higher frequency, because you're not succumbing yourself, you're not dumbing yourself down with these instant pleasures that don't bring you any joy. I only ever find pleasure through chasing my purpose. I only ever find pleasure through ironing out a vision of who I want to be in the positive way and working towards that every day. It's mission that keeps me satisfied. It's mission that keeps us away from the vices. It's mission that keeps us aligned towards our goals. I used to visualize like the druggy version of me too. I used to visualize like, oh, I'd be walking into parties, I'm going to be this cool guy, I'm going to be this cool like high functioning drug addict, everyone's going to think I'm so cool, and then some girl's going to notice me like as this high performing drug addict with so much potential, and she's going to be like, oh no, I need to take you in and nurse you to help. Like, such a weird fantasy, weird shit. I was watching too much Netflix. I had this fantasy where like I'd be this broken bad boy drug guy, and then I'd find this perfect girl who'd come and heal me. I can't lie, it kind of happened. What the hell, bro? it just shows the power of visualization in your mind when you sit there and you like vividly imagine something. It'll end up happening. But why was I visualizing being a drug addict? Why did it have to take that for me to imagine getting a girl like giving me attention and caring about me? That's crazy. But it works the opposite way. You need to sit there, no matter what depth you're in, and deeply envision the type of person you want to be. Deeply envision the version of you who's overcome all of his vices, the version of you who's so consistent in the gym, the version of you who's striving towards his goals and his purpose every day. Because that man is there. He's out there. But you just have to find him within. You need to look at what you're doing every day as a means of, wow, if I stop doing all of this degeneracy and I stop talking to these people that don't serve me, what else could I do with my life? And once you start ingraining that vision, then you start to take action towards that vision, and that's when you start to see results. That's how I turned my life around in 2 years. It was actually within 6 months, but I'm talking 2 years since I've been proper developed, and I've not looked back. And now my mission is to inspire and motivate and change the lives of as many men as I can, because I don't want anyone to go through what I went through, or anyone that's serious about changing their lives and getting into the best shape of their lives, physically, mentally, financially, and spiritually, and taking their connection with Allah seriously, their connection with God seriously, and just becoming a supreme version of themselves. That's what I want to help people towards, because that's what I wish I had. No one was there. No one understood my struggles. No one understood why I was doing these drugs, because I was so insecure, and I had all these like people around me that were no better than me, but they were getting like all these girls and they were in better shape, and like they had the status and respect that I wanted. And I was like, why? So I thought I had to be like them to go and get my respect. But we don't get our respect by being like other people. It's by being the best version of ourselves. It's by rising to a new standard that we've created. And then everyone in our life has to fall in line as a result. You can't be a version 2 of somebody else. You have to be the version 1 of yourself. And that's how you get every single blessing in this life. Don't cater to someone else's vision. Cater to your own vision that you sit there and dream about. And genuinely, anything in this life is possible for you. Anything. The day you start to change is the day that your life changes. The day that you decide to take action is the day that you start to bear fruit. But that day can't be delayed. That day you should go watch this video and then go and sit down and write down a bunch of stuff that you want to focus on, the stuff that you know you need to work on, but you've been avoiding. Write down all the bad things you're doing in your life right now and what you need to do to fix it, because we don't eliminate bad habits, we replace them. You replace the porn for the gym, you replace the bad food for the clean food, you replace the Netflix for the business research, you replace the chasing girls for becoming the man that girls desire, through building yourself up. For so long I always played this victim card, like everyone's against me, everyone's got this advantage that I don't have, but we all have advantages. I've always had a strong intellect. I've always had this obsessive nature towards either my goals or towards my destruction. And you can use that for bad or for good. Everyone's got these weird, quirky things. You just have to tap into it. But you only discover it through analysing, doing what I've just said with making the notes down, and then taking action towards something. You might go into the gym and stay consistent for a month and you can bench 100 kilos straight away and you get in amazing shape, but you don't know if you try. You might be amazing at fighting, but you don't know if you try. You might be amazing at business and getting on a camera like this and be way more influential than me or anybody else that you see online, but you don't know if you try until you try. There's so much potential within you that you're just holding back right now, bro. Because you're just not trying. You think that like there's supposed to be this path that's laid out for you, but the path is found within you. And there's so much that you're leaving on the table right now because you're just conforming to what everybody else has laid out for you. But your life isn't supposed to be like theirs. Your life is supposed to be yours and yours only. And think about the amount of people in your life that you can inspire through changing yourself from the depths that you're in right now to establishing a new life for yourself. Think about that. We only rise to our level of self-development, and people around us only rise to our standard that we create, because nobody can match the fire, intensity and aggression and work ethic that we create for ourselves. Once we decide to become that man, you're one decision away from changing your life, bro. You are one decision from shaping your whole future and your family's future and everybody who looks up to you or everybody who's in your life. How long are you going to keep going this way? How long are you going to keep putting it off for another day? Oh, in the future I'll be fine. You don't know your potential because you keep delaying it. And you're never going to know until you decide that day is today. I'm going to get back to my work. I've got a long day ahead of me, but I just wanted to share with this whilst my mindset was fresh. Make that day today, bro. Make that day today. Keep pushing. I love you, boys. If you want to check more of what I'm doing on Instagram, my link's in the bio. If you want to see how I can help you become that best version of yourself, like I've done for myself and like I've done for so many others who needed the help, then you can book a call with me. You'll speak with me personally and I'll see if I can help you, if anything at all. And I'll see you on the next video. I love you, boys. Keep pushing.